Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
In my short time that I have with you today, I'd like to share with you a few things that I use when I'm coaching my public speaking clients and anybody that also needs help in their life. Do you ever wonder what causes you to make all those life decisions every day in your life? Anybody ever wonder that wonderful question? What is it that causes me to make these decisions so that I can go forward and do everything in my life? Could it be, what is it you're focusing on? What do you think about? What do you believe? So what are you lugging around? We have all kinds of beliefs in our life that are either empowering or disempowering. They're famously known as limiting beliefs, the ones that disempower us. Like the belief that I can't do math very well. I'm famous for saying I can't type. Sue knows that. She's trying to teach me. That won't never work. Another belief is that I'm a lousy public speaker and can never get any better. We all know that if you work at it, you can do that. You can get better. So what happens when you lug it around? Those limiting beliefs, they become incantations, don't they? Things that you say over and over and over again on your daily basis, they become those limiting incantations that stop us from moving forward. What if you could live life like someone left me? What would be any positive incantations that would actually negate all those negative ones in a heartbeat just like that? What would they be? I can learn how to type. Probably never as good as Sue can, but yes, I can. I can be a positive public speaker, empowering public speaker. I can learn some math. Anybody come up with any positive incantations that would negate some negative ones that you might be carrying around? Something to think about. The triad. The triad is something that we look at that encompasses your physiology, your focus, and the meaning that we make from our language. What I do with the triad when I'm coaching with somebody is I first recognize what they're doing with their body versus what they're not doing with their body. Now, if you think about it, if you're sitting around watching TV, doing nothing, you're going to begin to think and focus on, my life sucks. I don't have any meaning in my life. Nothing's going right. You make meanings of the language that you just said to yourself. I'm a failure. I can't do anything. Don't make enough money. Life sucks. But what if you change some of these things? Because all you have to do is change one, and the other two will fall in line with each other. The most important one is I always start with your physiology, because guess what? All you have to do is get up. Do some jumping jacks, walk outside, breathe some fresh air. That's all about your physiology. That changes your focus, doesn't it? Because all of a sudden, instead of sitting in a dark room in front of the TV, what are you looking at? When you're outside, all of a sudden you're looking at the trees and the flowers and the grass. So your focus totally changes. You happen to run into your neighbor walking down the sidewalk, and all of a sudden you're having this beautiful conversation with your neighbor. That will change your focus. And then after that, what language are you using, and what meaning can you give to everything that you just did, just by getting up and moving? So physiology is always first when we're going to be changing any parts of our lives. Now the good news is, all of this is wrapped around behaviors. And the thing is, with behaviors, is that they're learned. We're not born with behaviors, are we? They're learned behaviors from the day we're born until the moment you're here. But the good news is that all the learned behaviors that turned out to be the bad behaviors that we're exuding, that we're showing and using, is that they can be changed. They can be unlearned. So what kind of bad behaviors show up in your speech? Anybody have any ideas what shows up when you're up here giving a speech? Bad behaviors.
Filler words.
Filler words. Rambling speeches.
Your demeanor.
Yeah, your demeanor, how you're standing, how you're not standing. How if I was to stand up like this, you guys would be like, no, she doesn't. No, she's sad. All I have to do is change my physiology and it changes everything. This goes to the 6 human needs. I use the 6 human needs as a basis for everything. We talked about earlier, somebody brought up earlier about what we need, basic needs in life. But what we're talking about is the 6 human needs as far as our mental health and everything. It's like, the first one is certainty. The second one is uncertainty and variety. We need to have both. Significance, love and connection, growth and contribution. So we're going to look a little bit further at these. Certainty means that we have to have safety. A basic need is safety, comfort, stability, and security. The second one is variety and excitement. Some people need to jump out of perfectly good airplanes with a parachute. Some people just need to be happy walking down the street. The third one is significance. We all need to have significance. Then feeling of being important. And love and connection. Who can do without that? No. Growth is all about learning and understanding. Contribution, giving to something that's bigger than ourselves. Some people need to have conflict with each other, but not your 6 human needs. Can you imagine if you had the conflict with certainty and uncertainty? You would never know where your safety came from. So essentially, essential for human survival is the first 4: certainty, variety, love, and significance, and the last 2 are the needs of the spirit, growth, and contribution. So how can speakers use these in their stage? On the stage in your speech, once you understand what your 6 human needs are, there's usually just the top 2 that are drivers for you every day. If you knew what your top 2 were, and you showed up on stage and knowing what your audience wants, and you can come from that place, your speech will go weave in and out of all the 6 human needs. Again, identify what your audience needs, whether you want to deliver a speech that is from a place of significance, or a place from growth, or a place from love and connection. I'm going to end here. I learned that people will forget what you said, and people will forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And that's what your speech can do. In the end, it is important to remember that we cannot become what we need to be by remaining who we are. Thank you.